Okay, all right, okay. So you haven't got a beer, so like I can't really. You have got. All right, let's do a
Cheers.
fucking cheers.
The boys.
The boys. Okay, so welcome to the 33rd podcast, Low Origin podcast, and we are here in the Upside Down, Australia. We're in Queensland.
Yeah, Queensland, yeah.
Queensland, and we're here today with Joel from Gravy Garage.
That's me.
A gentleman who I've seen and the boys kicking the shit out of really good-looking cars for as long as I've known Ty, at least, and it's been one of those things where I've watched this very relatable, stylistic type of driving and car look, and thought like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if that was something that we could like emulate in the UK? I'm sure it'll happen one day. Dory Fest exists. But anyway, first thing I want to say is thank you very much for helping to arrange for me to come here and be involved with the Gravy Garage weekend.
Yeah, we're
the
stoked.
Gravy Garage roast. Obviously, thank you to Ty as well. But yeah, thank you for having us at the event. It was fucking eye-opening.
Oh, I'm glad you
Really?
come over and got to see it, because that's biggest one yet. It was good.
It was great. The rain situation felt very England.
Yeah, on the Sunday.
On the second day, but I get it. The track itself was like really impressive to see firsthand. How you guys kicked the shit out of it. I certainly didn't expect to see like that level of driving in such a short space of time. I think we've got some videos due to knock about shortly, but I'm not gonna go straight to the questions, but I started to write this down because we're a highly unstructured, shitty podcast that ramble on for 4 hours. People aren't keen on those, apparently.
It's a bit much.
People are sick of this. Also, you may notice that this microphone isn't connected to anything. So let's start with, I want to know, how long have you been doing drifting? That's the most cliche and obvious question to start with, but like, Ty, for example, he's been dabbling with drifting for, is it 2016? Whereas I get the impression you've been doing this a lot longer.
Yeah, a lot longer. I think I got my first drift car when I was 19. So I was an S13 with an RB20 in it.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So that's
DE or DET?
DET.
DET,
Turbo,
yeah.
The Dose Master.
Yeah.
RB20.
Yeah.
I
do love a 20.
Always had RBs in my cars. But that was 14 years ago now.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's a motherfucker, isn't it?
Yeah, it flies. Hey?
It just fucks off. So I was going to say, so that's your first ever drift car.
Yeah.
And now, is it the sort of thing that you saw drifting and thought, I want to get into that, or did you just happen to buy the car and go, holy fuck, this is cool, or what happened?
We started out with time attack stuff, just doing circuit sort of racing with friends, and we'd go up racing through the mountains and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then sort of one of my friends bought a 180 and sort of started to see drifting in the hills and that sort of stuff. So yeah.
So this is it. You and your mates start to. Did what we did, which was sort of collect friends through drifting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where all my good mates are from now, is through drifting and through cars.
So this leads me on to the next question, which is, how did Gravy Garage come about? Oh, and another one, which is from other people who've asked repeatedly, why Gravy Garage?
Why Gravy Garage? Yeah,
it's
a
Gravy Garage
question that always sort of
Is this meat related?
I wish it was.
Because we had some good meat over the weekend, right? And I felt like, it's gonna be that.
It's just lucky that it progressed with the meat, and it kind of looks like that now in the gravy. But yeah, initially, I guess cheaper RBs always have oil dramas, so the oil coming out of our engines constantly was the gravy, and that was just the catchy sort of sticker that we made. And
I didn't know that was what it was.
Yeah, so both Ryan and myself both had RBs originally when we started drifting and racing and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. Constant oil dramas and leaking.
Constant oil dramas.
Yeah, down cylinders, all the things.
Hashtag just RB things.
Just RB things, but...
So, well, that leads me to the next. So we've got a couple of vehicles here. This is, I didn't know you had this.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't know you seemingly don't ever post this anywhere.
No,
despite it being fucking beautiful. And
forget I have it.
It's not in shot, so it doesn't matter. We'll put some pictures up.
Yeah.
But there is an incredible, and I'm going to go off look, so you're going to tell me what it actually is. 180, looks like an actual Type X with T7Rs.
XT7s, original.
XT7s.
So the old ones, yeah.
In the right finish.
Yeah.
It's impeccable fitment. It's incredible fitment. It looks great. I just heard you rip this out up the fucking road. It sounds great.
Yeah, I think I scared Dad coming home from dinner.
Oh, you got your dad in the car as well?
Yeah, that's who was at dinner. Yeah, he was.
No way.
I put it on high boost on one of the roads just up here, and he went silent for the rest of the drive. So it was a bit funny.
Okay, so tell me about this because the engine bay looks pretty serious.
Yeah, so it's built SR. I don't know what series of S chassis it's out of, but fully built motor.
It's a non-VVT. Is it non-VVT?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's non-VVT.
Yeah. 272 Jun cams, TDO6 turbo, and then it's still on 98 fuel. So I just wanted it to be easier to drive on the street, sort of wherever we can get fuel and go for runs and that sort of thing. So
okay, before we go any further with that bit, tell me about fuel, right? Because we're super ignorant to this. And the dudes that watch the podcast in the UK, I know there's guys that watch it in Australia, and they'll just be like, we get fucking E85, we know what this shit is. So when you're sticking to 98.
Yeah. So that's a premium unleaded fuel.
Unleaded fuel, right?
Yeah.
So you haven't specifically had this mapped on E85?
No, yeah.
Right, okay. And you don't want to do that because you just want it to be nice and easy?
Yeah, and it's still stock SR gearbox, so as soon as you went E85 it would go over 400 horse and just explode, so I try not to put it on high boost very often. The gearbox is a bit shonky as it is, but try and spend all the money on that car and just keep that one nice to just go on drives and that sort of thing.
It seems quite common, you know, like I have the same. I've got the 300 and then the S14. You have this car that's like your, I'm not going to say hero car, but it's your street car.
Yeah.
And then you have the hero car that you kick the shit out of.
Yeah. So
this is like your baby.
This is one of the original cars that I painted when Gravy first started, and it's got the same colour as all the other track cars. So Kyle owned this previously, and then I helped him build it up to how it is now. And just before COVID, he moved to Japan, didn't know when he was coming back, and he was sick of the car, so I bought it off him.
Sick of the car?
Sick of the car, yeah.
As you do.
If he's watching it, probably scared him a little bit with what stage it got to, and it just wasn't fun for him to drive anymore and own, so I took it off his hands, had to keep it in the family, and got it tuned and turned it up, and now it's a lot of fun.
So now you guys talk about PS and kilowatts. Do you know what brake horsepower this would be?
So it makes 375 horsepower at the wheels.
That's a really good figure. So this is a lot of fun.
So low boost is probably about 340. That's probably what you heard up the street. But even low boost in second, it doesn't really get traction because it's got small little tyres on it. But
but they fit good.
Yeah, well that's the idea. It's got to look good. Yeah,
it's got a real nice flat. Again, we'll put pictures on. I'll take pictures. So they know what the fuck I'm talking about here. But it's got a real nice roll on the rear. It's very rare to see a nice roll on the rear arch. Usually they get cracked and fucked up and end up looking like a bride's 90. But it's real nice to see that they are, from here at least, with my shonky eyes, clean as fuck.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's only the front rubs a tiny bit, but it really is pretty good, even with Big Kev in the car.
Yeah.
It's just the exhaust sits on the ground.
That's it. I mean, clearly you're not running a huge amount of camber on the front, and yet it still seems pretty happy. There's no marks on the front guards, so
no,
it's just rare. Like in the UK, I don't see this. This is a street-driven low car in a country where a street-driven low car is rare, and it's You seem quite natural just here. There it is. It's fine.
Yeah, well, it's usually under a cover, so I don't really remember. It just sits in the corner.
So, defects-wise, I know who we were speaking to before in the car park with the Brett.
But yeah.
So seemingly you can get a defect for pretty much anything. It's something as daft as not having the 5-speed logo on the gear stick to tyres rubbing against guards, or wheels sticking out from...
Any idea the cop has, he can defect you for. If he no idea what he's talking about, he can still give you a fine.
It does seem that way, yeah.
So this car has been defected. I used to live just over the border in New South Wales, and we were coming home from dinner one night, and got stopped at a highway checkpoint, and the New South Wales cop pulled us up and went over the car, and because it's in a different state, it's not technically a defect, so this car's still legal to drive around in Queensland. It doesn't matter between states. It's like a different country pretty much. So, So I'm not too sure. Now it's been a couple of years. I don't know what the sort of process is with New South Wales, but I tried to get the defect cleared. It was too hard to drive the car in New South Wales.
Yeah.
So Queensland cops can't see the defect in that state, so it doesn't matter.
Right. So
so it's like, it's not been done in Queensland. Just put the car back to how it was. And
this is the thing. It seems like the risks are so much higher for you guys generally, and the cars that I've seen driven on the streets tonight, and the cars that are generally being driven around, is like the risk is so much higher, and the cars look so good. But in order to look good, you've got to risk so fucking
you got to
much.
risk it.
It's bizarre that these two go hand in hand. But
I feel like it's just hotspots too with cops. Like around here, the cops probably won't look twice at you. I've had cops pass me on the highway and this thing, and they just keep going, like they don't bother too much. Whereas Sunny Coast, I feel like we had a lot more dramas with cops up there. They were real picky. I guess the crime down here is probably a bit more, so they're probably not so worried about cars. But then again, if you're doing stupid shit, they're going to pull you up. So you just got to be careful with how you drive and what you do, and I don't know. If you have a good attitude, cops have always been really good with me.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you, I imagine it's probably very similar to what it is in the UK. If you get out of the car with a "fuck you, cunt" sort of attitude, you're going to have a bad time.
That's right.
Okay, now I'm going to move on from this for a moment. Before we do, what wing mirrors are these? Are these? I want to say East Bear. Are they? What are they?
I think they are East Bear.
Are they East Bear? I correctly identified wing mirrors.
Yeah, this car's built a long time ago. My memory's not too good, so I think so.
Yeah, they're good-looking wing mirrors. That sounds stupid, isn't it? But like, the stock wing mirror looks fucking stupid, and everyone's got Ganadors, and the cost of Ganadors is now so wild that genuine Ganadors, anything that isn't a Ganador, is actually probably worth much more at this moment in time.
Yeah, I feel like I like the look of these a whole lot more. Like, they're pretty pointless. With stock ones, you get just enough vision, but these are a bit smaller. But yeah, they definitely suit the look of the car. Yeah.
The only thing, like the stock wing mirrors on the 300 are motorised. So when I start the car, I turn off. It goes, cool. But I've got the process of ordering and sorting out a set of Ganadors for the 300 because I just prefer the look of them. But yeah, it's a played out look. Anyway, now then, let's move to the S14. Now, this isn't your first S14, I believe. Have you had a different S14?
First S14.
Yeah.
So we spoke about before, S13 was the first drift car.
Yep.
And then there was a little break between the S13 and then I bought A31 Zafiro.
Oh, A31 Zafiro, okay, yeah.
So that car started out life with an RB20, more oil dramas.
Yeah.
Ended up swapping to 25.
Right, okay.
So stock 25 in that car.
Yeah.
And then I drifted that for years, like street and track. Rode it off at the track, and I had I feel like I'd bought this car before I crashed the Cephii, but I can't really remember. And then it was just this was going to be a spare shell.
Yeah.
Sitting at my house, and then once crashed the Cephii, it was a mad race to get everything back in this and keep driving.
A matter of time, basically. Yeah. Okay, so this is an RB25.
Yeah.
All right. Now it has, are those 26 covers? No, they're not 26 covers, are they? They're 25 covers.
It's got a 26 inlet on it, so it's got the 6 throttles.
Oh, yeah.
With the adapter plates that go, it's all port matched to the head.
Okay. Now,
Yeah,
so
spending
talk us through this. How did this end up being the way this is? Is that an engine from the Cephei?
No, so I think when I had the Cephei, ended up getting this engine built, and it was supposed to go on the Cephei.
Yeah.
And then crashed the Cephei. It was too much to get all the hot side and everything done for the built engine. So the built engine ended up sitting on a stand in a friend's garage for 5 years, maybe.
No, that happens.
And never had any dramas with the stock 25, so I never had a reason to change it.
Yeah, that happens. Now, where's Gravy Garage as a group of lads driving together at this point? Have you become...
So we hadn't started doing paint jobs or stickers or anything. We had the sticker, the first original sticker was just a small one up in the windscreen corner.
Yeah.
And then we got a big one made, which is on the back of this car. It's a big, our original probably logo that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that sort of recognised us as a team, and we sort of got together as friends and all wore that sticker. And it wasn't until I switched to this chassis, needed paint, so we started painting the cars in the Ember Black.
Yeah.
And then 2015 Matsuri in October was the first year that we had stickers.
Yeah.
So we wrapped 5 of the cars, I'm pretty sure.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, and they're
Which
all
was-
as tyres pointing up to the roof here. We'll take pictures. Okay, so it's a natural progression. See, this is the thing. You haven't set out with the intention of doing or becoming Gravy Garage. You've just let it naturally happen. You and the boys have just
happened, and we meet people at the track,
the best way of doing it.
They want to drive with us, so we end up doing tandems and trains, and then we hang out outside, party, drink, do all the fun stuff back in the day that we used to do. So they'd just be a part of the group, and we're like, "Shoot, we got this event coming up. Let's paint your car. Let's do this, and then look more like a team."
Yeah, look more like a team. So this is the thing. So like you're looking like more of a team, which is, I'm going to say, it's the same sort of avenue which Low Origin went down. We wanted to drive together. We didn't want to compete. Now, where does competing come in the Gravy Garage?
Yeah, it definitely
is it also not a thing?
No, it definitely hasn't played a part at all. So we've had a couple of
again
boys,
relatable.
Dabble in a bit of competition like Brent and I got a trophy, but it wasn't. Tim, they both have competed in some like minor comps, but
never with the intention of going to do a full season to win it. Okay.
Not. So
yeah, see, that's the thing.
Really a thing ever in Australia. Probably back when I first started drifting, there was a competition series, but it was the likes of Levi and Drift Squid and Luke Fink and all those sort of guys that have the pro spec cars. We just wanted our cars to look good and drive good together. And that was the main thing that we always focused on.
Very relatable. Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Okay, so let's go back to the S14. So at the point at which you got this and you're like, right, okay, what diff are you running? What have you done to this to make this what it is now?
As I'd break parts, I'd obviously try and break them. Not break them.
Try and break them.
If I broke them, then I'd upgrade them to something that's better but easy enough to get, so I'm not putting weird parts on the car that if I break something at a track day, it's easy to find. So I've always had that in mind. So it's still R200 diff. There's a 6-bolt shaft in there as well at the moment, but you need to worry about that. And then just RB25 gearbox. It doesn't have third gear either. So
it doesn't have a third gear. Yeah. So okay. So you had first and second, and what did you have, fourth as well? Yeah,
fourth, fifth, reverse. They all still work, but they're kind of pointless with the diff gears. So I'm only drifting since October last year in first and second.
Probably saw that out.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
Probably.
At the moment, the car works, so it's hard to fix something if it's not really broken.
Or lack of third. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I just put a taller diff in it, so it's got 3 7s at the moment.
3 7s.
So it's a long first and second, which is perfect for rally or Archie or like Upper Gladstone I've driven as well. I wouldn't take the car on big track at QR. It'd just be
well, you've got the gear. You've got the gears for it, just not the middle one.
Not the middle one, not the main gear.
Yeah.
So I'm still umming and ahhing about what way I should go about gearbox.
It looks like there's a Z33 over there. Is that a Z33
That's
gearbox?
another RB25.
Is that an RB25 box?
Yeah.
So there is one just there.
That doesn't have third either.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. So this is the second box that I've done. So now I'm like, do I go the same way or do I go something different? But see, I've had this car running since, I don't even know how many years, 6, 7 years, maybe even longer. And it's only done 2 gearboxes. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, so
That's
it's
pretty
like,
good.
do I just put the same one in and then get another couple of years out of it, or?
You got to think, like when was Next Level? That was 2018. I've been on a Z30, the same Z33 gearbox since 2018. So that's how many years? 7 years. Really bad with maths, can you tell?
Yeah.
Now, I only did that because I was aware that the prices were becoming stupid, and I didn't want to be caught in a situation where a large portion of time goes by and I'm trying to find a gearbox. Because I had a Z32 gearbox in my S14, and I remember coming back from Poland thinking, I'll just have a little look for one online, and there were none. Z32 manual gearboxes were not expensive, just impossible to find. How are parts like that to find in Australia? Can you if you say have you got only an RB25 box, can you find one relatively easily?
Yeah. So they're easy to find. They've just more than doubled in price from when I bought these 2 gearboxes. They were $1,000. You pay for a good box. Now they're high 2s, almost $3,000, which is close to a new price. So it's like
that is close
ridiculous
to a new price.
to spend that on a second-hand box.
Yeah, so that is close to new
Not
box.
sure whether just to spend the money and put the same box in it but brand new, or do a swap and go to a 6-speed. I'm not sure.
Do you guys not
Recon
recon gearboxes or an 8-speed? Yeah, we'll get onto that in a bit. Now, do you not recon boxes? Do you guys not like? So I've sent boxes off SR boxes back when SR boxes were, when we were using them. When we regularly use a third gear, we'd lose third gear. We could send them away to get rebuilt.
Yeah, so
and it would probably cost about the same as a new gearbox. Only difference was you would have a new gearbox afterwards. Yeah. So that's
we can do that too, and that's been on the list of things to do, is to actually get a quote to get that done.
Yeah.
So I've got a spare box there. I could easily send it away.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably not a bad idea. My Z32, I have a spare Z32 box that needs to. I say spare. It's in the car. It needs it needs synchros. It's crunching between second, third, and fourth. Yeah. So it needs new synchros. I've opened a gearbox once to change the bell housing on a CA to SR gearbox swap, and I just opened it up, looked at how horribly complicated it was, and just put it back in.
That's what I did with this gearbox. I
fuck
was
with
like,
that.
which one's broken?
One with no teeth, yeah.
Yeah, take the grinder to the rest of the teeth and then back together. And
you put it back together? I couldn't be fucking arsed with that. I'd have took it out and been like, well, that's fucked. I can't be arsed with that. I'd have sent it to get a fucking recon, or I'd have gone and fucking putting a fucked, but I suppose it's one of those things. There's the thing, you've solved that problem by putting a taller diff in. Yeah.
So I drove Matsuri, and the weekend after, I had to drive another event down at Raleigh. So I was like, do I pull out or do I just spend the week trying to fix the car, which is engine out in that car. So engine out, gearbox apart.
Why is gearbox out? Why is engine out?
There's no room to get to the bolts. It's too hard. The box is too big. So it only takes me an hour or so and I can have the engine out. And then, gearbox apart, grind third off, clean it all.
Grind third
put
off.
Put it back together. Run some cheap fuel, some cheap oil through the gearbox, and then put a taller diff in and off you go. So I did the diff and the gearbox at the same time, so they both had to be changed.
Right, okay.
So I'm not sure if the gearbox took the box out or the diff took the gearbox out, not sure. But yeah, it's a big bang. It was a good one.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, but I can see how you got to that point.
Yeah.
Okay, next on our... So I've got the next one here. Now, we're going to get onto Instagram questions in a moment.
Okay.
But I'm going to run through the ones from that we've put together and Saul's put together. Thank you, Saul. Very cool. Thank you for being involved.
Thank you. Missed you last weekend. He's bowed out.
Fuck you, man. Sorry, Saul. Anyway, So one of those was, where do you see Gravy Garage in 5 years' time?
feel like there's just going to be more kids at the event, literally.
Yeah,
everyone's having babies, and there seems to be 2 or 3 more kids every year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll do third gear at some point. Yeah.
I hope I've changed the box by then.
For fuck's sake. Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next one is no, I'm not going to do the IG questions yet. The gravy cars, all in good style. What is it that makes you and the boys follow that style ethos? I wrote that one. I shouldn't have needed to read it out. What is it that made you go down this route specifically with this type of styling?
I feel like I've just always...
What inspired you?
What inspired me? I don't even know what inspired me, but like just seeing cars overseas and obviously in Australia as well have that sort of style. I've just always tried to push that same sort of thing, and I guess the other guys in the group see
like-minded.
Like seeing us do that and still being able to drive the cars hard.
Yeah,
there's no reason why you can't. So
that's it. Yeah,
actually, and then like I've painted pretty much all of the cars in gravy. So if I steal the car off them, then I can change it up for them if I need to.
Yeah, exactly. No, from our perspective, it's like a very similar attitude and a very similar, and also it's great to see like thousands of miles away in a different country, guys who are super relatable, doing the exact same thing, have the exact same standards and interests and ethos as we do in the UK as low origin. It's like, yes, it reaffirms, and then now that we've come here to just see it firsthand, has been like, I've said it before, but very eye-opening. But also,
how does you witness a gravy roast firsthand? How does that compare to events?
All the videos I've seen. Oh yeah.
Like in comparison, like being to both of them.
I don't want to say nothing compares. It's just, I can't, as Toby says, I can't fault it. Like, it's exactly what I need and want from an event. And
because I want people's opinion, because I want to know if we need to change things or add things or
hey,
like what.
Stop it from raining on the second day. It felt very English. I was like, it fucking rained. Everyone started putting cars on the fucking trailers. I was like, yeah, this is England. Except for it wasn't fucking freezing. Yeah. No, everything, the track format, the way you guys ran the track, to the, as in like, you have 2 cars out. Oh, sorry, you have 2 cars out. It was up to, what was it up to? Was it up to 10 max or?
No, 4 max.
4 max.
But we did
It was up to 4 max, honest.
Couple of cheeky 5s and 6s that the radio. I had the dude in the tower going nuts over the radio, so I had to run around and tell people to stop. But yeah,
it looked good.
4 cars.
4 cars. But it was like, do your laps, come back in. And look, there were guys there. There was a crash.
Yeah.
Big fucking crash.
It was sad.
It was a really sad crash. It was really sad to see that happen that way. And these things happen. You say, would you change anything? I wouldn't change anything at all. I was, however, surprised to see, and I understand, because if you put a cage in a car here, it ain't ever seen the street again. So it's like, with me, like, put a cage in a car, doesn't fucking matter. But if you put a cage in a car here, it's done.
It's unsafe somehow.
It's unsafe. What the fuck is going on? Honestly, this is the thing that becomes like, this is fucking stupid. Like, anyway. But yeah, you say, oh, you've got to have a cage. It kind of ruins things because it suddenly becomes more serious, and people who are like, oh, I've got to put a cage in my car. There was no passenger in that particular incident, and it was fine. It was fine, but it really well could have not been fine.
Yeah.
And again, would you change the thing? No, it was a fucking amazing event.
That's good.
I would happily come again to that. I think I'd camp, despite the spider situation. Look at your face. I know. Despite, I was like, we were like, oh, I don't know, man. You want to throw us in the fucking deep end with spiders and shit? Being English, being typical English people, me and Jono have basically just been like every 5 fucking seconds. The fucking spiders in this. spiders in this, spiders in everything. Like I sit down on this and I'm like this. Fuck me.
You got to fly or something.
Fuck
take
me.
their dinner.
So when Ty was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go. Fuck it. What do you call it? You get a swag. Which is a tent.
Joel sleeps in a swag.
Yeah. Joel sleeps in a swag. So it's like a tent, and we just get a fucking tent. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't think neither me nor Jono were likely to be dealing with that. But I think I can because it looked like you guys had such a fucking good night, and
yeah,
I kind of feel like
around the fire, drinks and
absolutely.
It's good.
Yeah, and experience
like
that element of it.
Trying to stay at the track.
Yeah.
You go off to all these places, everyone splits up, so it's good being able to camp there and.
The meat as well, the meat element. Talk to me about the fucking meat element and how did that come about? Because this is the thing, I made this assumption about gravy.
Yeah.
Right?
We had the gravy.
The meat. We had the gravy, yeah, the meat was fucking amazing. What was it? What? And also, how did you get to the point where you're throwing meat into an event? Because that doesn't happen in the UK.
No, well, Ty's one of the gravy drivers. He's been cooking briskets at Matsuri's, like, just for our group for, like, a few years now, like a long time. And first gravy roast was like, what would we have at an event? And would feed the drivers with meat. Like, why not? We have smokers, we can take them and cook there while we're driving all day. So yeah, our first gravy roast weekend, we only had 20 drivers, so we only needed one piece of meat to feed everyone. Like, it was pretty easy. Yeah. And slowly as it progressed, it's got to a lot of drivers. So over the weekend we had 3 10-kilo briskets, and we had
3 10-kilo briskets,
5-kilo pork Boston butts. So yeah, we had about just over 40 kilos of meat for the weekend, and that was gone about half an hour. As you guys saw, you got there too late.
I know, we did. We fucked it. You see, because we weren't camping. Because we weren't camping.
Yeah, you disappeared and got distracted, and you missed out. But you still got something at the end, which was good.
I know, and it was. This is the thing. Like, we got there and we were like, oh fuck, we fucked this. We fucked this so bad. Both me and Jono were sat there thinking like, oh my god, we haven't eaten anything, and we're just saying we're gonna have to go home and eat crisps, chips. We're gonna have to go there and eat fucking crisps, and then. Hands us, get some fucking bread. Get some bread. Slaps this fucking meat on, and then what is it Diane's or gravy? It's gravy. Obviously, it's gravy. Obviously, it's fucking
probably
gravy.
Similar to Diane, is what you call it. Yeah.
Bosh, and it was the greatest thing I've ever been handed in my life. Especially as we were both so fucking hungry.
I warned you both because you were at 6 on the dot.
I know, yeah.
Should have, like, the line was, you would have seen the end of the line. It's just like, we had two lines going this time, and it felt like it never ended. Yeah. Well, it didn't because then when it ended, we turned up. I think Hayden Finney come around like 4 times.
Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, that element of it, wasn't expecting that. Well, I kind of was, because I've seen the fucking smokers on the sides of, like, the fucking trucks, or utes as you guys call them. On the trailers, yeah. And just be like, damn, y'all smoking some meat. Yeah. That's what she said.
Being able to drive and cook at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm going to move on to IG questions. I'm going to move on to Instagram questions. And I'd like to see if I can see any more, but I can't load any more questions off the back.
Just sneak outside.
Well, let's just have a look if it will load. No, hang on. Fuck. Yeah, okay. So then I can go to that. No, that's the same. No, it's fine. We've not had any more since we've been filming. It's okay. Right. So I wrote down the usernames for some of these. So forgive me if I butcher them, but y'all got stupid fucking names. For fuck's sake, can you get the fucking pits done at Raleigh with a GoFundMe? That's from BDale151.
BDale. Yeah.
Yeah? Is that just yeah, it's done, it's fine, it's done. He said yeah. He said yes.
Definitely working on it, that's for sure. So
he said yes.
He's got plans to concrete from the track all the way to the pit road that comes down.
Yeah, Ty was extremely excited about that.
Yeah, so that was good to hear. But every time I make sure he puts a grader or does something each time. There's only one man that runs the whole track, and he does everything, so it takes ages to get anything done.
Well, this is it. So, Raleigh is... I've seen some tracks in my time. It looks great. and bar the pits, the pits. In the UK, that's quite a normal thing.
Yeah.
The pits tend to be kind of look like the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
They're not the prettiest of things. They're rarely tarmacked. I think there's only a couple, like small ones. Three Sisters have got a tarmacked pits, and it's all right. It's pretty good, but all the others are fucked, and it's just one of those things, you live with it. But there are some pretty big, substantial rocks
it's pretty
on
bad.
the in and the out. And also, it's like the irony is like it's not like when I go to a track and I'm like, oh, can you do something about the pits? It's for me and my mates. Whereas for that event, it was like everyone has sick low cars, so like it's for everyone.
Yeah.
So I imagine you'd have a much better chance of getting them to do something about it. But anyway.
I'll definitely push him every time.
Push him.
His number one priority is keeping the track like good for us, and that's like good.
Yeah. Well, it does seem to have a decent surface. There are like some drop off bits, but like I like that jeopardy, especially in a low car where you end up fucking rail grinding edges of the fucking track.
You look back, see if there's any oil.
Yeah,
Whoop.
sumps are torn to pieces.
The gravy's gone.
Yeah, the gravy's gone.
Safe.
Yeah,
okay.
there are certainly some spills, should we say?
Yeah.
Right, next question, which I saw this before. I was like, okay, when is Vogue putting you on the front page? Nick, the four-door freak. Nick has got a fucking boner for you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how you respond to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just yeah. Soon.
Is that a magazine? I don't know.
Vogue.
I'm staring.
I read it all the time, honest. Right, now the next question. Favorite cars of the event in categories. 6 VI. What categories? You've not given us any categories. Favorite cars in the event in categories. I mean, we gave away an impeccable fitment award, which I have given away in a couple of countries, lots of times in the UK. Really easy in the UK, because what happens is one car turns up with good fitment that isn't my car, and I give it to that person. Whereas at your event, it was very, very, very fucking difficult. Every fucking car looked great, had great fitment, and drove well. And it's like, fuck. I remember driving around the first day with Time, we were both like, fuck, are we fucking giving this fucking award to? Shit. Oh my God, every single car. Like your award as well. That was, again, we were like, fucking hell, who the fuck are we giving to this? The cars looked great, and they had great fitment.
Categories. Best
Categories,
cars.
yeah. So categories. What was your favourite car stylistically of the days? No, day. Let's go with day.
Style car.
You can't say your own.
No, it's definitely not. Look at it.
Hey, I mean, like, it's fucked, but it's still it's still stylish. You can't just do it dirty because it's fucked.
No, yeah.
It's sat here waiting for you to fix the fucking thing. You'll be like,
I'm being busy.
please fix me, please, for the love
We'll
of
get there
God.
one day. Best style car.
You can't say tie. Because that was another one. I was like, I could just give the impeccable fitment award to Ty. And yeah.
Honestly, probably like the style and like my favourite car from the weekend we gave the award to last year is Todd Hilton in the Mark II.
Todd Hilton.
1,000 horsepower Mark II.
Oh yeah. Didn't he send it out and someone else was driving at the beginning? Was that guy?
Yeah,
was that on the, Someone else was driving it, and I was like, oh.
So yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite cars to see on track. Just the noise and the look of it. And, just
that's the one that doesn't have air cups.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. That looks sick.
Like
it's like an all-rounder.
All round, like
yeah.
got the whole package.
Yeah.
It's like the noise of a car is a lot for me as well. It's not just how it looks. It's got to sound sick as well.
Are you a fan of a V8?
No.
Good. There you go. We can continue talking.
If they have a turbo and some mufflers, then yes.
A turbo and some mufflers. I guess I can neither. No, I just can't hack V8s. I know you've got a lot of them in this country. You've got a lot of V8s in this country.
Yeah, there's a lot. They're cheap.
They're cheap, that's the thing. Whereas in the UK, if you see someone a V8, you're like, you could have had a JZX. Sorry, a JZ. You could have a 2J for that sort of price.
Yeah.
When you go down that fucking route.
Yeah, just like Aussie domestic market, they're everywhere, so they're easy to get.
We'll get back to that, but I was meant to ask you before, like, so you're an RB. We're running out of RBs in the UK. RBs are now extremely expensive, and we have issues with them, things like overheating and head water-related things. Why not JZ, 2J or 1J?
Just always loved RBs and the noise they make.
Yeah, they do make a good noise, to be fair.
And this engine I've never had any dramas with. So yeah, I've never had a reason to swap over.
No, I suppose if you don't have any problems with it, then there's not really any reason to do so. But then again, look at us with our SR20s. What are we thinking? SRs are great, right? They're great. I love them. They're just great. But
I
like,
need a couple of mufflers as well.
make them quiet.
This thing, just 2 mufflers sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't deny it. Yeah, it does have a good noise.
This external gate, that's it. It's good.
Yeah, external gain, 2 mufflers. Sounds like the your face. Sounds like the winning combination.
For an SR.
For an SR. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's tearing apart. That's all right.
Okay, right. Next. Let's move on. Favorite cars in the categories. You've not said 6.6 VI or whatever 665. Is that 6? No, it's 6.6 whatever.
What
You've not
categories?
put any categories. You've just put the categories.
Wildest build on the weekend is hands down Levi's car. That thing is the hot rod is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to see that finally, like I know his struggle that he's been with over the last few weeks getting that car to the event, and seeing him actually drifted on track and drifted well in the end, it was like, yeah, so good to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait to see how that car comes out.
From cancer like 3 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the all clear as well, which is fucking amazing. Yeah, that was well impressive. Plus, we showed up, like, how long were we in the country before you showed us that? 20 minutes. We literally showed up, and then Ty's just like, look at this. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is wild.
Insane.
I think, are we going to see, Thursday, we're going to go see Levi and catch up with that car and see what's what, because it looked like it was absolutely...
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah, it was real impressive.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. Right, next question. I'm going to say it's a statement because it doesn't make any sense. From Caden Bros. It says, please, for the love of God, make a Subaru drift car. Is this something I'm missing? Is this something you've wanted to do for a while? Is this guy who's just got autism or something?
Check out my Subaru!
I do not like Subarus.
Okay. Fuck you, man. What a weird request. Does anybody want that apart from like 2010 Jap Speed?
Eat my poo, Subaru!
Yeah. Nobody wants that.
Team Orange.
Team Orange, actually, to be fair, that's kind of OG.
That's been done, and you don't have to do that again.
I like the Evo. Yeah. What a fucking weird cunt. So this is a question from Saul. So he's asked, are you planning to do any other events that aren't at Rally?
It's hard with my current gearbox situation.
As in run events?
Run events.
Yeah. Other than
so we
Rally.
run one at Benaraby last year in November. So not sure whether we'll do it again this year. I've got to have a chat to them and see where.
I've not heard of that one. Where's?
It's a long way up north. It's sort of like a big skid pan sort of area. We can just set up our own track on it.
Yeah.
At their driver training sort of area. So yeah, there is a possibility of doing that later in the year, and then Buckner's in talks with another track at the moment that haven't done drifting before, so we kind of need to suss that out too.
Yeah.
So we're not sure. We'll see. We need to go out and have a look.
Okay. That's a maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe go back to that.
Not really. Yeah.
Right, next question, and our final question. How does it feel to be the GOAT of grassroots drifting in Australia? Leroy886.
Definitely. Don't feel
I'd
that
agree
way.
with that. You do appear to be the GOAT of grassroots drifting.
I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
I just want other people to as well.
that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you have fun, people see you having fun and go, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I could also have fun and just do that."
And have good food at the track. Why not?
And have good food.
It's not that hard.
The food part of it is probably quite hard. We've been here for like 7 or 8 days, and we've consistently had really fucking good food every day. And I mean, Ty's done a phenomenal job in organising all this, but like the times that Ty's come to us in the UK, we've gone like, "Do you want a Mackey's?" "Do you want a Mackey's?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll have a Mackey's." Like,
Sleepwalking in a tent on the floor on a blow mattress that is a blow.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you went over there and slept in a tent, but they wouldn't do it here.
Yeah, no fucking spiders over our ends.
There's no
The
spiders
most
here.
terrifying thing that would have happened to Ty was that like some fucking terrifying Scottish girl would have attacked him. Oh my God, you're Australian. That's so exotic. Get the fuck.
One man tent.
One man tent, yeah. Anyway, right. I feel like it's probably a good time to wrap up. Is it a good time? I don't know what that means.
75 minutes.
Oh, you're acting like I'm in like show business and I know what all this means. 3, 2, 1. That's a reference to a 1970s program. Okay, yeah. So we'll call it a fucking day. I'm going to speak into the microphone now because it's very important I speak into the microphone. That's how I know what I'm doing. Okay, cool. I'm really fucking pleased that you do what you do. Please continue to do what you do. It justifies the dumb shit that I do with my friends in my country. And if you stop, I'll feel like I won't be able to continue doing the dumb things that I do in my country. There needs to be more of this. There needs to be more of this, and more of just having fun in your car with your mates. Sounds like such an obvious thing. And as I said at the beginning of this, very easy, as you just said, very easy, very simple. And not enough people do it. They seem to get into drifting and then either immediately get into or feel the need to get into competitive drifting. They get stuck in a rut, they go down that route, they chase power, they chase power and they lose money and eventually they give up and quit and they're off. And they never get to experience this. This is the best bit. Just your mates fucking having fun. People just almost miss this bit completely and end up having a fucking bad time. So please continue to do the fun bit, and if you'll have us back, I'd love to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
And do more fun stuff in cars. Cool.
Thank you.
Sick guy. Right. Goodbye. This microphone doesn't work. You don't need a clap, do you? Because its audio is already synced. Oh, look at this, just one fucking piece, no fucking stupid board or anything, it's just a wire, a camera, and some people talking shit for 45 minutes. Sick. In a boot!
Thanks.